Good morning! I'm here at the Milner Pass Trailhead, which is also the Continental Divide, inside the Rocky Mountain National Park. And it's a little chilly this morning. When I pulled up to the trailhead, it was only 18 degrees. And today, I'm going to be going for Cracktop. It's not Cracktop Mountain or Cracktop Peak, just plain old Cracktop. And I have to go over Mount Ida and Chief Cheley Peak to get to it. I'm starting out here just before 7:25 and it is cold. Heated gloves are activated. Up here to the first trail split, and it looks like 4 miles up to the Mount Ida summit. And from there, that's where the fun is really going to begin. And in 15 minutes I'm up here to the next trail split. We're going to stay to the right. However, right below it is a warning to the Mount Ida hikers. It says Mount Ida is 3.5 miles of exposed tundra without a maintained trail and a few reference points. Pay strict attention to the weather and terrain. I'll tell you what, this smoke is making it really hard to breathe. Oh, I'm totally wheezing right now. If it looks cold out here, it's because it is. This smoke is making it really hard to hike fast. I'm dying out here. Whew. Beautiful shots of the Never Summer Mountains. And over there to the left, up high, through the trees, you can see the Grand Ditch Road cutting through. That's looking out onto Mount Ida on the left and Jack Straw Mountain on the right. Got some clouds showing up. Wasn't expecting that. Weather said it was going to be all suns. Mount Ida summit is about 2 miles away. That's Jaeger Point over to the left. And of course Mount Ida directly in front of me. And it is really pretty out here. It's cold, but it's pretty. I'm getting a lot closer to Mount Ida, and I'm coming up to this little down and up section. I'm losing the trail, but I don't think it really matters too much in this stuff. It's primarily just a bunch of rocks. Getting close though, getting up there. As the sun is rising higher into the sky, it's getting warmer out here. Wind's dying down. Looking at about another half mile to the summit and probably right around 300 vertical feet. That's looking back at Jaeger Point and then across at Teratoma Mountain, Mount Julian, and then as you pan over, you can see Cracktop. One with the crack at the top of it, and then Mount Ida to the right. Chief Cheley Peak is kind of tucked around in there. Can't really see it at the moment. In 2 hours and 40 minutes, I'm up here on the summit of Mount Ida. And there's no one else up here either. This is really pleasant up here. And this is what I got next, folks. Look at that drop right there. And then back on up to Chief Cheley Peak. And then on over to Cracktop. Spent maybe 10 or 15 minutes up here on the summit of Mount Ida. Had a quick bite to eat. But I'm gonna go ahead and start descending right here. And it looks like I'm gonna have to drop down roughly 500 feet. And then back up a little over 400. I'm going to take this part through here extremely slow. It's going to be real nice and careful. But I think I can do that. That's a beautiful lake right there. I think that's Lake Azure. I'm making my way down these rocks, and I think they look worse than they actually are. It seems like those rocks are just right up there close to the summit, because after I came down 20-30 feet, it really mellowed out. Alright guys, I'm probably about halfway down this thing. It's really steep, but I just feel like as long as you take your time and you're really careful, it's doable. I'm just about down there, which means I'm 100% committed. And then that's what I've got to hike up next. I'm gonna have to hike back up that on the way back, which looks kinda atrocious. It only took me about 15 minutes to get down here to the saddle. And that was with moving in super slow motion, being extremely careful. But now it's time to go back up again. Chief Cheley Peak. Yeah, this won't be too terrible. This is so funny. I just came across these tracks and they look like coyote or possibly fox tracks. And then when I turned around me to look back up at Mount Ida, I saw a fox over there. I'm pretty sure it was a fox. I don't know, it's pretty far away. Could have been a coyote, I guess. Either way, I'm pretty sure I saw the creature that made those prints. Going up this thing isn't too bad. It looks worse than it is, especially when you're looking over from Mount Ida. Beautiful shot of all these lakes. These lakes are really hard to get to. Almost impossible. That's looking over at Terratoma, Julian, and Cracktop. Cracktop is looking real close now. And so is this summit. It's right there. All right, guys. And in less than 45 minutes from leaving the top of Mount Ida, I made it over here to the summit of Chief Cheley Peak. And I have no idea if I'm saying that right. That's looking back over at Mount Ida. And I can actually see some people up there now. What a beautiful shot of the highest lake and also Cracktop out there. And that's where I'm heading next. And that traverse just looks A little long, but actually pretty easy. I don't have much down and up to do at all. Well guys, I didn't even sit down up here. It's almost 11:30, so the day's kind of slipping away. I'm gonna start heading over right now and knock this out as quick as I can. I'm down here in the low point coming off Chief Cheley Peak, and it looks like this is the easiest way to get down to the highest lake. And this is looking at what I got left. Cracktop is right out there in front of me. So close. It's this one right here. I'm gonna get that. That's looking back at Mount Ida over there. Looks like one more little down and up section, then I'll be on the summit of Cracktop. And this is looking up at the final section. I'm gonna avoid that real nasty rocky ridge. Keep it right here to the left of it. That looks pretty good right there. And in just over 30 minutes from leaving the top of Chief Cheley, I'm over here to the summit of Cracktop. And that's looking back at where I've come from. I got some down and up to do to get back. And then look at Ida. Oh my goodness. Huge down and up. That's the Class 3 Ridge Traverse over to Mount Julian. And that does look pretty wicked. However, it does look like if you stayed low and to the right, you might be able to work your way around and avoid those real high points that have all the exposure. It's about 12:35 or so. I've been sitting up here for about a half hour, but it's time to go. It's time to head on back. I wish there was an easier way to do this, but there's not. I'm gonna have to go back exactly the way I came. It means I gotta go back up and over everything. I have found the best way to do this is to stay up high on the ridge. Basically just stay as close to the edge as you can. That's looking back on what I got left. And for this first uphill to the top of Cheley, I'm going to keep it right here, right on the ridge. That's the best place. Heading up the ridge to the summit of Cheley. And these are some crazy rocks out here. I'm going to keep climbing up right here through all these pointed rocks. This last little part to the top of Cheley is probably the hardest spot in the entire hike today. This ridge gets real narrow and it has some exposure. And the thing is, you gotta stay right on top of it. And this is the very final part. And I am aiming this camera basically straight up into the air. And I'm back up here to the summit of Mount Ida. Holy moly, that was hard. I was literally taking 10 steps and then taking a break. 10 steps, taking a break. But it's just now 2 o'clock, which means that took about an hour and a half to get from Cracktop back over to Mount Ida. And now I'm looking at 4 miles back to the Milner Pass trailhead, and that should be pretty much all downhill. Almost back down to the trailhead. Alright guys, and I'm back. Milner Pass trailhead. And I believe that hike was well over 10 miles and probably over a 3,000 foot elevation gain. Took me about 4 hours and 45 to get up, about 3 hours and 20 minutes to get down. Hope you enjoyed it, and until the next hike, y'all, peace.